Jerry the refrigerator, who got through and put the pressure on Ferguson and drove him out of the pocket. So Ferguson was on the run, and you're going to see Wilbur Marshall come here and really flatten him. Oh boy, did he really hit him. And down is Ferguson, and the Lions are in some trouble at quarterback.
Bear down. It's Fourth Quarter Boy Sports. I'm your illustrious host, Professor Lake, back in the building, back in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? About to set the table, man. You know, in this particular upload, I wanted to talk about a couple Bears topics. Some things that's been on my mind. You know, I've been waiting around, seeing what Roquan Smith was going to do, so I want to talk about that for a second. I also want to talk about this upcoming Hall of Fame game. I'm pumped up about that. Really curious to see what this Matt Nagy system looks like. And speaking of the Hall of Fame game, I have to say my piece about Brian Urlacher. So we're going to jump right into it. You know, as I always do at about this time, it is Fourth Quarter Boy Sports. This is the illustrious one, Professor Lake. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Yeah, be a Fourth Quarter Boy for life. Hit that notification bell. So let's jump into it. Okay, so a big topic everybody's talking about is Roquan Smith's contract and why haven't the Bears been able to bring this man into camp. So if you haven't heard, one of the major issues has to do with the new impermissible use of the helmet policy or penalty that's been instituted for this 2018 season. Basically, players are going to get punished for lowering their head and using it in a tackle, or even if you're a running back. So if you're a running back, you're not supposed to dip your head into an oncoming tackler. And if you're a tackler, you're not supposed to dip your head into the run. Most coaches teach football players form tackling, and I'm not going to go into the specifics of what a form tackle is. Form tackling specifically takes your head out of the tackle. Now for runners, dipping their head in protection of a tackle, that's kind of what they're taught to do. So I'm curious to see how this affects what type of running backs we have in the backfield. Not this year, but in the future, and what type of linebackers are going to be out there now. You know, seeing that we're kind of getting away from the battling ram type of players, running backs and linebackers. We're looking for more finesse, athletic, basketball type football players, in my opinion. But hey, who am I? So specifically, Roquan Smith wants language in his contract stating that the Bears will not take any guaranteed money away from him should he be punished for one of these impermissible uses of the helmet during his tenure with the Bears. And it's definitely understandable. I think it's a concern for any player. The team has assured Roquan Smith and his camp that they will be reasonable in assessing any punishment that the NFL may dole out to Mr. Smith. But honestly, when it comes to a contract, you want to see that in writing. So initially, I understand Roquan Smith's concerns about the penalty. But let me just tell you about the fine of the penalty so you have a better idea of what Roquan Smith is fighting. So say you're a running back, a linebacker, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and you get flagged for impermissible use of your helmet. The first time you get flagged for this, you are going to get fined $24,309. Okay? The second time you get flagged for this penalty, you'll get $48,620 taken away from your guaranteed money. Now, if this happens 2 times a season, you know, that's close to $71,000, $72,000 altogether. In my opinion, that's quite a bit of money that you're just giving away. So after being fined once or twice with this type of penalty, I think you're going to think twice about how you approach football. I am wondering how this is going to affect a lot of players out there. On the other side of the coin, what's fair for one should be fair for all. I only say that because Roquan Smith is doing an honorable thing standing against this penalty and the fines waged against him just for playing football. But in the grand scheme of things, okay, when you look at the projected salary for somebody drafted 8th overall in the 2018 NFL draft, you're looking at somebody that's going to sign, a contract worth about $18.4 million, okay? His first year, he'll be getting paid $3.5 million. The second year, he'll be getting paid $4.1 million. The third year, he'll be getting paid $5 million. And the fourth year, he'll be getting paid close to $6 million, about $5.8 million. Now you figure in taxes, okay, you take a large chunk away and give it to the government. Then you got living expenses and all of these things. So you get your game check money. You might get a little more if you're balling out and you're tapping into that unguaranteed money on the contract. But Roquan Smith is projected to sign a contract for $18.4 million with $11.5 million guaranteed. But he could suffer this penalty twice every single game, and it may not affect his bottom line as much as it would affect a guy who's a backup that may be stepping in for a starter. Say you're one of these guys who get paid, $500,000, and you get hit with one of these penalties one time. Your game check is really going to be hit. And imagine if you get hit with it twice, whether or not the call was questionable or not, that's still money out your pocket. So in my opinion, I think this penalty really affects a lot of the backups on the team. Some of the guys that don't have these multi-million-dollar deals, multi-year deals. It doesn't really affect them as much as it would affect a younger guy, somebody that's trying to make the roster. So in the media, you'll see veterans say things like, oh, I'll have to adjust my game and I have to adapt to the new rules. And, they're real diplomatic about the rule change. But that's because, they've made their millions, and the fine that's going to be levied against them isn't necessarily going to put them back too much, as it would a newer player in the NFL. So with that in mind, the Hall of Fame game is coming up Thursday, and Roquan Smith won't be there. I'm not sure if I'd really want to see him play that much in this game. But when you talk about the Hall of Fame game, we got the Bears going against the Ravens, and two of the best linebackers of the 2000s are going to go in the Hall of Fame at the same time. Those two linebackers are Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher. Brian Urlacher was 6'4", 258 pounds, out of New Mexico. He was a first-round draft picked 9th overall in the 2000 NFL draft. He ran his 40-yard dash in 4.57 seconds. He bench pressed 225 pounds 27 times. He had a 34-inch vertical. In college, Brian Urlacher was a consensus All-American. When he entered into the NFL, his career spanned 13 seasons with the Chicago Bears. Bear down. He was the NFL Rookie of the Year. He went to 8 straight Pro Bowls. He was an NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2005. And finally, he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. I gotta say, it was enjoyable watching my man control the defense. He brought an attitude that Chicago Bears players and fans gravitated to, and I think we took on some of that attitude ourselves. Not only was Urlacher great at stopping the run, Urlacher could play in coverage. By the end of his career, he totaled over 1,300 tackles with 41.5 sacks. Urlacher was a beast. That's why he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, the game at hand, the Hall of Fame game. Don't want to see the starters play. I really don't. I don't want to be that guy. I just don't want to see somebody get a freak injury at the Hall of Fame game. I'm sorry. Okay. I will look for Javon Wims, James Daniels, Anthony Miller, Kevin White, Earl Watford, Ryan Nall, Cody Parkey. I want to see what he got. Defensively, I want to see what Kevin Tolliver's made of. Deion Bush, he's been here a little while. I want to see what kind of growth he's had in Vic Fangio's system. I want to see the newcomer Kylie Fitz and Joel Iyiegbuniwe. They say Aaron Lynch is banged up. I want to see him anyway. I want to see him. Hopefully he could tough through it. Hopefully these setbacks are minor. He's had enough downtime. I want to see what's going on with Aaron Lynch. You also got a couple more newcomers, Nick Orr, Michael Joseph, John Franklin, Bilal Nichols. I definitely want to see what these new guys could add as far as depth to our defense. Hopefully these kids are hungry and they want to get after it, and they show it during the Hall of Fame games. On the other side of the football, or other side of the field, I want to see what Lamar Jackson can do. Very intrigued, very curious. No, I don't want to see him run all over the Bears defense, but I'm curious to see how he handles this quarterback position. I want to see if it's going to be a battle with him and Flacco. Okay, why not? Let's just see the starters for one series, and that's it. If it's a 3 and out, cool. If they get to the 40 and start running it to see if they can kick a field goal to get him off the field, cool. I just want to see if Mitchell Trubisky can move the offense. Can he call the plays? Can he do what is expected of the Matt Nagy system and philosophy? So I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I'll be back with you guys shortly. Keep checking for the Bears news. Keep checking for the updates. Be a fourth quarter boy for life. Hit that notification bell. It is me, the illustrious one, Professor Lake. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bear down. Holla at your boy, I'm gone.
William Perry, the refrigerator, who got through and put the pressure on Ferguson and drove him out of the pocket. So Ferguson was on the run, and you're going to see Wilbur Marshall come here and really flatten him. Oh, boy, did he really hit him. And down is Ferguson, and the Lions are in some trouble at quarterback.